Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Four Horsemen Mythic Legion's GORTHOKK figure, which is a goblin type guy, an orc, not goblin, orc type guy, and I have to say he is really cool looking. If you remember, I reviewed the green one with the silver armor a while ago. I think his name was Urku, if I remember correctly. This one, even cooler, so let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 18 centimeters, which makes him just about 7 inches, which gives him a pretty good size. I will point out, I still think the feet are too big. I understand that they're armored, but they just really stand out as being too big. And I know it doesn't always look that way, and it looks better with the shoulder pads, but I want to point that out. It's the one issue that I really have with this guy. The second issue, which is much more subjective, is the head size. I've heard some people say it's too big. I would tend to agree personally. It doesn't have to be smaller because he's not human, but especially if you want him to be a bad guy, you generally want your bad guys to have smaller heads in relation to their bodies. It makes them look more menacing. That's just a thing. I don't know who decided that, but it's true and it's a thing, and it would look cool for him to have a smaller head. But he does have a really nicely sculpted head. I love the sculpts on these guys. You guys know it's the same body we've talked about before, but it looks really, really nice. And the armor is, of course, very well sculpted. We've seen all of these parts before except for the head, so not a whole lot to talk about there, but very well sculpted. And as you can see, it's very well painted. The skin is covered with shading, and then it has those lighter spots on him, which make it look really nice. I like the light blue for the armor, and then the little bits of green and gold in there. Just stands out very, very nicely. As far as accessories go, he does have shoulder pads which can peg into his back and make him look like a badass. He has an alternate head with the helmet on, which makes him look really cool too, but I would go without it, to be honest. It's a really nice normal head sculpt. We have a belt that can hold the sword around his chest. We have some kind of weird hatchety thing. We have a big sword-like thing, and then more traditional sword. So plenty of accessories, plenty of options for you there. Very cool figure. So the head is on a ball peg. It has pretty good range. It goes up and down a little bit. Not a ton, but enough. Full rotation, and you can lean it side to side, so that's good. The shoulders are on fixed hinges. They go out all the way horizontally, so that's pretty cool. You can rotate them all the way around, although be aware that because they're seated so far in, and it makes it look really nice, it will limit the range just a little bit when coming forward. No bicep swivel, but you do get the swivel in the elbow, so if you need that, you have it. The elbow doesn't quite go 90. You have a swivel here for the gauntlet, so if you want to move that around to be like at the bottom, you can do that. And then, of course, the hand also has a swivel and a hinge, but you really want to leave the gauntlet that way. That will afford you the best posing option for the hand. We have a ball peg for the torso, which allows him to lean not a ton, but enough in just about any direction. The belt is a soft piece that sits on top of everything else. This is a separate piece. And then for the hips, we have basically T-jointed ball hinges. So they can go all the way forward, a little bit back, and then all the way out to the side. Now you'll notice that they're not fully sculpted for the hinge part or the crotch, but that's because they're hidden by the armor, so I don't have a problem with that. They do get a little bit loose going forward and back, much like the NECA figures, which is kind of interesting. We do have a thigh swivel in here, which works very nicely. We have a single jointed knee. It's the same type of joint as the elbow, so you can bring the leg almost 90 degrees, and then it does have rotation, but it's weird that the rotation is actually in the boot part. So that's kind of odd, not really that practical. Now, one thing I love about these guys is that they have a true ball hinge for the ankle. The foot doesn't have the best range going forward and back, but it's definitely good enough. And then you can rotate it around and give him a full ankle rocker. So ultimately, is it perfect? No, but is it really cool? Really well done for the most part? Yes, I think so. I really like this Mythic Legions line, and I think you guys will too. So if you want to check it out, there's a link for Big Bed Toy Store in the description. If you missed out on Kickstarter, that's where you're going to have to go because it's cheaper than eBay by a whole bunch. There it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Turn on notifications if you want to see more. And in the meantime, keep collecting.